where we might find the hole.
Okay. When do you move?
The first trailer leaves March 28th, and the second trailer comes down March 29th. So I'm officially leaving the first trailer.
Okay. Do we have time to work with him and stuff?
Yeah.
No, I'm a good partner. Obviously, to have more food concept that that would be a problem. I would never have done that. I just didn't take.
But no, I totally understand. Sometimes you think it's soothing to them.
I thought so. I just the opposite.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Created a bad situation.
But he just needs that kid eventually to be okay. You know what I mean? It's just like when he's trying to learn his place, the horse that he finds his comfort from is going to be more important to him than he when he's not sure yet. But once that changes, then he's going to be like, oh, I can't go for your run, He's not going to care.
Okay.
So the video camera kind of has all of this.
Okay.
Make sure that he's itchy because he's also real sweaty.
Oh.
But it's still, it's still not acceptable that they choose you to be a scratching post.
I sometimes allow it. I probably shouldn't do that. Sometimes it's just him rubbing on me.
Yeah, it is a form of.
I might not see you too soon, so we'll talk soon. I'm gonna take out. Hi, Beth.
Alrighty.
Nice to see you.
I'll send you.
Okay, thank you. You too.
So, come the first of the year, of course, people make their New Year's resolutions and stuff. And my big resolution for this year is to lose my hair. And I want to be able to ride him anytime, any place, in any situation.
Okay.
I'm compete, I'm just looking for confidence and to get that control.
Okay, so one way to do that is to not let that happen.
Right.
Because he is in control when he does that. So,
And I want to ride.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
I really want to get in the seat and not have to.
Okay,
So I'm just telling you,
sure,
totally burn that before you leave and let you try to accomplish.
sure. Bring your saddle next time for sure.
It's here with me now.
Okay. It doesn't, if you want to, we can. He's in a good frame of mind. Let's make sure we can keep him that way.
Yes.
What I want to do is get you believing it's okay to not put a pair of skates on today and be a Olympic figure skater. Okay? Because that's what your biggest problem is that you are convinced that I should be good at this.
Yes.
But you can't be. I mean, I just did a video, well, I didn't actually do the video on that one, but where we spent a half an hour going through the steps and the horse didn't do it, and then I took the horse and the horse did it because I've been doing it long enough to where I can communicate to the horse more clearly. But right now, you're still trying to figure out vowels and the nouns, right? And yet still expecting him to understand. So together you guys are learning. And it's okay. And you're going to make mistakes. As long as the mistakes don't beat you up. You know what I'm saying? And the more I think you allow that to upset you, the worse you're going to make your relationship with your horse. Okay?
That's exactly what I'm doing. Because I feel like, I failed. I can't communicate. I tried. I did that with videos, and I still can't make a connection. What's going on?
Good. Now that was beautiful.
Yeah, because he just...
He thought to get out of your way because he believed you the last time you said it. Okay? So that's nice. When you want to, all the good things, you want to be like, oh, I was just effective the last time I did it to where when I made a motion that seemed like that to him, he responded. It's like, it's all right. You're okay. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to see what your lunging is looking like, and then I'm going to go ahead and see how I can help you with it. Yeah. And now one of the things you can do is because your intention is good. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is see if you can move him more on your attention, more on your intention than on too much movement. So the idea is you want to make him to where you just go like this and give him, and he goes, my bad, right? You want him to just recognize your intention, and none of this is going to be necessary someday. But if you always use it, he's going to rely on you using it.
Okay. What's interesting to me is what's different is this space that we have right here. This physical space. Okay. Like he gives me more of that. Like I'm getting more of distance. Like not always obviously because he's doing this, but he's been the times that I've been working with him, he keeps this distance.
Good.
And then he moves in, or he tries to rub on me before we start. But this is something that's been an improvement. It's
Good.
acknowledging.
Yes, and you want to acknowledge all the positives that are happening because that means you're going forward.
Yes.
Right? So if you were going backwards and now your horse is running around and kicking you, I would say, okay, we got to figure out what's going wrong. But if you're making improvements, then you have to be like, hey, I must be doing something right.
Right. So that makes me feel good.
Yes.
Now the lunging may not go so. Let's get your.
Yeah, but see, you already set it up to not go well, just by saying.
Oh, you're right. So we're gonna lunge.
Yep, good. Now leave him alone. Now, I'm going to tell you why he came too close to you. Did you?
I couldn't even get this in my round pen.
Okay. Good. And then, yep, and that's perfect what you did. Now, all you want to do, because you said get back, and then you went relax, and your relaxation was good. When he did come back in, come alive again in that instant. So it's kind of try to make everything real time, but real time fair, meaning. Because sometimes when we think, oh, I was relaxed, now I got to come alive again, sometimes we come alive more angrily than we mean to.
Of course.
So if you came relaxed and then he moved, so let me just borrow him for a second to just show that, because he'll do it for me too. Okay. So now, if he moves, I'm going to try to get ahead of that thought. I'm going to watch his body without my body saying I want him to move. So that way I can make it very clear that he shouldn't have moved. So I'm going to even set him up to kind of make the mistake so I can help him. So I'm going to ask him to back up again. See how the intention means something to him?
Yes, it does.
So that's your goal. Your goal is to not just back up, right? Your goal is to say, how light can I make you back up? And then, oh, it didn't work. How light can my intention? Hey. And that was nice because he's still distracted. So what's going to be fun is we're watching him. In his distraction, his feet will start moving because he won't even realize he's moved his feet. And then, so I'm nice and relaxed here, I'm going to hit up. That's real time. Up. I look back at you, so I missed the second time, but. So you also don't want to stare at his face. So there, I'm going to, see how I caught the thought? I'm going to catch the thought again. You catch the thought again.
Yeah, I see that.
So you can see the thought in his chest. See his chest? There it's in his chest again.
Like he wants to go.
Yep, it's in his chest, but it bounced back out. If you watch his chest will tell us. So if you look in his eye, you're going to put pressure on him and you're going to make him nervous and it's going to make him want to go away or move. Or in his case, he likes to push. He likes to push on you, so he's going to come at you instead of go away. And then you're going to release him. And you're going to let him have a break because this is a horse that doesn't want to stand still. He's a little nervous about being asked to stand still. So I don't want him on top of me, so I'm going to tell him, get off me, get off me, get off me. Good. Then I'm going to ask him to back up again. And that's stuff you can do at home where you can just say, okay, good, that was nice, thank you for standing still.
Yes.
And then say, okay, how about you stop? How about you back up? How about you listen a little bit better? That was nice. So, you know what I mean? You're just going to kind of, how you can, like, say you're walking along, you can say, okay, you know what? I don't want you to come in closer.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then but you don't make
I
him,
work with him a lot.
right, and you don't make him wrong. You know, you just make it clear that that's kind of like if you know somebody's following you and you know they're following you too close, like, just like, you know, down the hallway or something, that, you know? You want to be able to just be like, hey, stop, that's far enough, don't get any closer to me. Where it's a look that makes him feel the intention, and then yet it doesn't make him think that you're a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be able to just protect yourself without looking like a jerk to your horse. And it's easy to look like a jerk because we think, oh, I'm supposed to get loud to make this happen. And then you just kind of look like an animated, meanie. So I'm going to ask him to back away. See, now I'm going to say you should have kept paying attention because he said I could do it on a real light line. See how he's saying, and he's following. So I'm going to say, hey, I think you need to keep doing it though.
Wow, that's great.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So now he just proved to both of us he does not need this. Okay? But it's going to be your goal now is to say, can I just look at my horse and make him back up?
Yeah.
Okay? My intention is good. Right? My intention's not, hey, You do that, he's going to be like, hey, what are you doing? Okay? So we want to make sure that we give him the energy that he needs to understand us, because their whole world is based on energy. Okay. So, I'm going to ask for that foot to go back. I'm just going to be more particular with him and say, put that foot back. Good boy.
He's such a looking.
That's okay.
Is that?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
He likes so many things.
His survival depends on knowing what's going on.
That's true.
Yeah. Good boy. Okay, so I'm going to have you do your lunging now. How good boy. Now, see, that licking and chewing was him telling us, like, hey, that really wasn't brutal, and I handled it. I survived it. Okay? And he understood his lesson. Okay. So anytime I ask them to go out on a lunging circle, I always ask them to back up, even if it's for one step or two, because I want them to know there's a beginning, middle, and an end. The beginning is back up and not moving for the instructions. The middle is while he's active. The end is my yield, and either I go to him or I ask him to come to me. Okay, so go ahead and give him his beginning, which is back away from you. Right off the bat, give him intention versus a wiggle. See how you went quick to wiggle? And then now you can put a little wiggle, and then,
There he goes.
yeah. Yeah. Good, now ask him back away from you, which means you don't move. Yeah? He's going out onto the circle before. Yep, there we go. Good. Good. Now you relax, so you both know that there's going to be, that was the beginning. Now I'm going to follow through with another instruction. Now, the reason he crowded you last time was because you steered him like this. Now,
That's where I guess I'm messing up.
so if you want him to go this way, you're going to point at me. You're not going to point over there. Because you point over there, the line comes to you.
Of course, and he's like, he's gonna walk right in my space. Right.
So you point to me, and it's not, there's no tension on the line.
Right.
You're just suggesting your nose looks that way. And then as soon as his head turns, which it will, because I don't know why, but horses look where we point.
Okay.
So point, and then as soon as he exposes, he's going to look this way, he's going to expose this shoulder. As soon as he exposes this shoulder, you're going to take the end of the line, and you're going to suggest he follow his nose. And that energy is going to go on that shoulder. So go ahead, because he's getting a little worried about having to stand still, so we're going to give him something to do. So point at me, put the energy at his shoulder, his shoulder, his shoulder. Good, and now leave him alone. It's okay, because he got in the habit of doing it wrong. It's okay, though. Make sure that your hand is open enough for him to use the whole line. Don't direct him, so you just pull him back to you. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
You did
So,
exactly what you were
yep,
asking.
he did. So I'm going to borrow him for 1 second, just to show you. Okay, so once he's out on a circle, once he's out on a circle, you want to leave him alone. So I'm going to point over there and say, I want your nose to go that way.
Okay.
Now I'm going to also ask him to point his nose. Now I'm showing his shoulder and you tell him to go.
You did that beautifully.
Okay? Now leave him alone. By leaving him alone, I'm telling him he's doing the right thing. By doing this, now I'm going to keep him confused.
Yes.
But if I leave him alone, I'm going to ask him to walk again, just to help him out. Which I might have to slow him down for. And just say, go ahead. So I don't have my support to help him, so okay. So he's there. Okay.
Wow.
Just walk. Just walk. Hey, just walk. Go ahead. So my energy, my thought, my eyes are on his shoulder.
I see.
And now I'm hoping he's just going to walk. By trying to get him to walk, I'm having a hard time getting him to understand that. But I'm okay if he wants to just jog. He may feel like he needs to do that.
Sure.
But you just stand.
Yeah.
Just stand and...
Oh my God. That's what I want to do.
So now this is a question. He's not doing anything wrong, although coming all the way into me. I'm going to say, that's okay. No, I wasn't ready for you to stop yet, so go back out, please. Okay? So I'm going to tell his shoulder, hey, I told you to go that way. Good.
What a boy. There's my angel pop.
Good. Good. So see how those hesitate? Those are thoughtful steps. He was asking me a question. When he went real slow like that right here, that was asking me a question. They don't know that we want him to lunge for 20 minutes. They don't know we want him to lunge for 20 laps. They will do one lap, even a half lap, and then they'll ask, is that enough? So he's asking there. He asked, is that enough? That's when you're going to just say, yeah, you know what, I think, like if he asked me now, if he did, you say, no, I'd like you to keep going.
Oh, gosh.
So it's now he's going to ask again. So he may ask me again in the same spot. So instead I'm going to be here looking for him to ask me so I can help him. But I didn't need to. If he asks me again, like right there, I'll say, yep, like you keep going. Nope, keep going.
Oh, that's good.
See, it's just direction. That's all I need. So now I'm going to tell him to move his tail away and to just stand there. Wait for me to tell him what to do next. And then I'm going to come and tell him he's doing a great job.
Good boy, Pumpkin's place. Oh.
So you're doing a lot more than you need to. So what's funny is that you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, not doing it well, but you're doing more than you need to. So what's cool is, think of it this way, you just do a lot less things to have to do.
That's very true. Okay.
So back up. Yep, follow up, yep. So it's a gentle wiggle and then a follow up with a bite. Yep. There you go. Good. Now point over his shoulder. You want to... Okay. I would even ask him to go the same direction we were just going, just to make it a little bit easier for him. Point over his shoulder, yep. Yep. Wiggle to say, no, you're wrong. Okay. Good. And just let him do what he has to do for now. You can control the walking or running later. Don't stare at him, just kind of, if you have to, just stare at his feet, but don't stare at his face. Keep your arm down. There you gave him support you didn't need to, right? If anything, he might have even gone faster. Yep. No, you don't have to look around and watch him. Yep, so he's asking to support his shoulder. Good, good, and then, yep, now leave him alone. Yep. Yep, don't pull him around. See how you felt yourself kind of pulling him around?
Yes,
Just gently hand yourself the rope. Yep. Yep, and don't keep watching him. You can watch his feet. Don't watch his face. And if by watching his feet, you can tell what he's going to do next. If he's going to go faster, if he's going to go slower, if he's going to stop. Yep, give him a sense of direction. Yep, yep, yep. Don't step out of his way. Push him out of your way. There you go. There you go. Now leave him alone. You stepping out of his way offers him the opportunity to push you around. I mean, obviously for safety reasons you would step out of his way, but
of course.
okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to look, bump on the nose, pull towards our belly button, and we're going to look at his tail to see if we can get him to stop. Don't swing at him, just, yeah? Because what could have happened is by swinging at him, you could have sent him, launched him forward at you, because you had already spun him around, so now that's driving energy. Driving energy means go. He could have come right at you. So you want to try to make sure that you're aware of where you're giving him the energy. Okay. So let's see if we can, now we're going to try to improve on that. We're going to see if we can ask him to walk away. Sit down on the walk. Do the same thing, but we're going to ask him to walk. The reason he's trotting is because of his energy. He's nervous. So he's got more fire in his feet than we want him to. So we're going to say, you've done a great job. Now let's see if we can do it on a walk. Don't quit. Good. 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 Change hands and tell him to look over your shoulder. Tell him to look over his shoulder. No, don't pull him. See, he just pulled him to you. That's okay. Yep. Yep, look at his feet, look at his shoulder, look at his knees. You can look at everything from belly down. look at his face. Yep, tell him, yep, you're wrong. Yep, good. Just say, thank you for checking in. Basically, you can think of all those things as communication. He's just checking in. Is that enough? Did I go 3 laps? Do you want me to do? Good? It's okay. Because you're wanting to be in the moment was quick with the energy. Okay? So you got to defend it? Yeah, because you wanted to be in the moment, and you were speedy about getting yourself. Okay, go ahead and look at his tail and see if we can get him to stop. No energy though. It's okay. He did stop, and honestly, what happened was you felt yourself going like, I'm going to chase him, and then you tried to stop yourself, so all the energy you would have given him with that was with the energy, was the intention of you behind it. So you had the right intention, but you had too much support, and then when you caught yourself with too much support, then your energy drained. So he didn't have to respond, because now you weren't saying it anymore. Okay, so that's all that happened. Okay, we're going to see if we can get him to go the other way now. So now, just so you know, different horse, different eye. Okay, so we may have a totally different horse going the other direction. So you need to be just as supportive and just as confident that he's going to do exactly the same thing, but be ready to be his good teacher when he asks you questions. Okay, so you're going to ask him to back up, you're going to point over his shoulder to tell him which way to go, and then you're going to tell his shoulder to follow that. Good, so it's just back. Because back up is more than they. It's okay. We tend to put more words than they can kind of chew on. So intention, just with your intention. Yeah, but keep it a steady, so you want it rhythmic. Yeah, and then if he chooses not to, then you're going to jump. Good. Yeah? Good. So it might have been a little bit louder. The only thing that I would have done different, okay. The only thing I would have done different was I would put slight energy to his nose to say, hey, send your nose that way. No, slight energy to his nose. Yeah. Yep, it's okay. So we're going to stop and I'm just going to show you what I mean. Okay. I deliberately, no, I stepped in. I did it on purpose. So, I'm going to tell him what to do with his nose. Now, his nose obviously is going to be more likely to go that way. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him to take that step back. So you do want to give him the energy in the road. You just want to make it, and it's rhythmic. So don't go. It has to have rhythm till you're done asking for where you're trying to go. So if you wanted him to do 10 steps, it has the rhythm of 10 steps instead of sort of. Okay? So I'm going to wait till his nose isn't the way I want it to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point, and then I'm going to suggest, this hand's just coming up and suggesting that I'm at his, I'm suggesting he turns his nose. Once his nose turns, that's piercing. Once his nose turns, my focus will immediately turn. I'm going to say, no, that was wrong. That was wrong. Get back where you were. Once his nose turns, my energy will go to his shoulder. But until his nose turns, you can't see that shoulder. So if you can't see that shoulder, you can't direct that shoulder. So now I'm saying go with your shoulder. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I'm going to release him on that because I really like that. Good. Good boy. And that's going to get all on top of me though. Good. Okay. Good boy. So, it's a very gentle energy at his face. Very gentle. It's more suggestive. It's more like you're saying, hey, can you look this way? It's very gentle, okay? Once he moves we're going to go this way, but once he moves his nose where you can see his shoulder, the instant, and I say instant, but I know with you it's almost like it's too sharp. So, just as soon as he gets his shoulder, draw your attention now to his, as soon as he, those moves, draw your attention to his shoulder without being sharp. It's a smooth transition from I'm focusing on your face to now, yeah. Right, because that's gonna make him nervous, yeah? Yeah, so the flow, try to find the flow of it. Good. Good. Yes, perfect. Yep, and if he stalls out on you, then you can either throw more body attention at him or bite him. Good. Because I think now at this point, big wiggles aren't necessary. Unless you're trying to interrupt him. Yep. So now it's gentle on the face. Wiggle if he goes the wrong. Yep, there you go. Now, yep. Good. Allow him to have the rope and try not to stare him down. Yep. See how much more comfortable he is?
He's
With,
like a totally different horse.
good.
This is so pleasant.
Good. If he asks, you're just going to say, yep, I'd like you to keep going. If he comes in on you, then you can bite that shoulder at like the girth. Yep, point, but don't forget the point where you want him to go, and then tell him, yep, and leave him alone. Because sometimes we get too flustered and then our energy is wrong.
That's what been happening, and the more I tried, the more frustrated I got, and the more frustrated he got.
Sure.
I could tell he was truly trying. He didn't know what he was asking him to do. So every cue I was giving him was coming to me.
Yep. Even right now, you're kind of pulling that line back towards you.
You're right, because I'm talking.
Yeah, it's okay. Yep. Point. Tell his shoulder to follow. Yep. And then leave him alone. Yep. Push him out that way because now he's being a little aggressive. Yep. And then send the shoulder again. Gently tell his nose first. Yep. Yep, good.
Well, that seems better.
Yep. And honestly, I took it slow on that because I knew I wouldn't be able to project to you the right energy that would have been necessary for when he stopped. Because when he stops, you want to make him wrong for making that decision.
Right.
But in the same sense, I think your energy would have been too much punishing. Not meaning to, it's just your energy would have been punishing. Good boy. As long as he picks up the walk immediately after he's done. Yeah. Good. As long as he doesn't forget the task at hand, I'm okay with him having to take care of an itch.
Oh, this feels so good.
Good. Now, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Now, it's funny. He wasn't worried, but he saw you were, and his ears went out to the sides. Yeah. You are better to just drop the rope if you're in a panic. He's so rude. There's nothing affectionate about that. Okay. He's like, stop telling her that. I get away with it all the time. Because it'll improve your relationship.
Oh, I agree.
You know, and they like guidelines. They really do. Right, and it's just order. It's not, I'm not suddenly saying, I'm in charge of you. It's just, these are the rules. Right. And then we're going to even ask for the thought and see if we can bring it down to the walk. That's going to be a lot harder because once we have to get emotional. So asking him to come back is a challenge. So, and know that it doesn't seem like it would be a logical challenge. So know that when you're doing it at home, if it doesn't work, don't get yourself frustrated, just stop, and then ask him to go again and see if you can get him to go at the walk. And then reward him for having walked. But it's very difficult to get them to come out of an energy thing to bring them back down. Okay. Yep. And then do kind of counts of, yep, there you go. Counts of 3 and then give them a bite. Say, hey, I gave you the best deal. You didn't want to hear this? Okay. Right? Always think the best deal first. Hey, you know what? If I have to, I only pinned my ears, but you didn't listen, so now I'm going to show you my teeth. Now watch, see how you just started kind of pulling? Yep. Has nothing to do with pulling. You're just going to guide his nose, guide his shoulder, and leave him alone. Leave him alone. So you swung the rope probably 2 times more than I would have. Okay? Because once he leaves, he's responded. Put your hand down. As long as he doesn't forget what the task is, he's fine. Okay, raise your hand again as if you're going to ask him to go forward from where he is, and that's to ask him to trot. So just raise your hand pointing forward, yep, but with the rope in your hand. Give him double kiss to trot. And you're just going to keep doing it rhythmically till he picks up the trot. As soon as he trots, you're going to put your hand back down at your side. Good, now, good. Leave him alone. Yep, good. Yep. It's okay, he got a little emotional, but that's okay, because he didn't want to be told he was wrong. Good. Now, we're going to gently wiggle the rope in kind of a backward towards his shoulder feel to see if we can get him to walk. Now, when he looks at you, you're going to just raise your hand and not be rude, not be mad at him, and just say, no, I'd like you to keep walking, though. Yeah? Please keep walking. That's it. I didn't want you to come in, I just wanted you to walk. So then we're going to try that again. And when he looks at you, you're going to say, but keep walking. That's okay. So what happened there? No, it's okay. What happened there is your hands got in the wrong position. So this hand is the one you're going to wiggle towards him. So he's going this way. Here's his nose. Here's his shoulder. You're going to wiggle the line towards his shoulder. So it's like a backward feel to ask him to come down to the wall. Okay? When he turns and looks at you, which he did twice in the same spot, which he may do the third time in the same spot, when he turns and looks at you, you're just going to go, oh, I'd like you to keep walking, though. You know, thank you for asking, but no, I just want you to walk. So, because he thinks, come in. But he's not wrong for asking you that. You're just saying, oh, no, I actually want you to keep walking. Okay? So, and then it's very polite. It's a very, no, just keep walking. And then if you have to, you give him support on a driving support. But what's offending him is that he thought you said stop, and then you went after him.
Well, duh, I was supposed to stop because that's what I thought.
Yeah, and like, I don't know what you want. So he got kind of mad, but he can handle it. We can tell him, oh wait, you know what, I wasn't clear. Let's try this again. And that's kind of the whole attitude you need to have with yourself is, I wasn't clear. Let's okay. Good. Gentle towards the nose. You can give him, you can give him a slight bump, but don't pull, good. Gentle energy towards the nose, good. There, perfect. Now put your hand down, put your energy down. Good. So, you're going to change hands, and you're going to put your hand up in the air, tell him to trot. Keep doing that rhythmically until he trots. That way he'll learn the cue. Means you won't shut up until I do this trotting thing. So now if you can give him a little energy. Okay, good. Now put your hand down. That's your way of telling him he did the right thing.
Good.
Okay, now gently give him the energy back towards his shoulder with your right hand. Yep. Now he's going to ask, you're just going to raise your hand and say, no, I'd like you to at least keep walking. Good. Yep. If he trots again, we're just going to try again. That's all. Good. Now, no, leave him alone. He's doing exactly what you were looking for. You're kind of staring him down again. Okay, ask him to trot. Raise. Yep. Yep, now you can say, I need you to go. Yep, energy. Yep, we want him to trot. Allow him to have the rope. He's managing to get himself closer and closer to that gate, just so you know. He's figured that out, that he can pull you that way. Say you even felt the pull. Ask him for the trot. Yeah, and he responded aggressively back.
Out of my space.
Yep, make sure that he's allowed to take the line from you. Good. Good. Yep, just don't let that phase you. Just ask him. Just point. Okay, he's trying to expel some energy. Yep. Leave him alone. So too much energy on the go when you swung the rope at him.
Did I cause that?
No, not just then. No. Okay. Yep. Good. Now gently up. Yep, that was good timing. Good timing. See how? He said, oh, okay, you weren't telling me to come in. And you weren't rude about telling him to because he had the pattern. So he's probably going to ask again right here. And if he does, then you're just going to say, no, you're just going to raise your hand back up and say, no, I'd like you to keep going. If he asks,
Get him to walk.
well, I just want to let him settle down for a second. Okay, now go ahead and up the track. It's okay. Yep. It's okay. Just let him.
Just let him go.
No. Just let him keep running, but don't let go of him. Yep. Redirect him out of your space. Redirect him out of your space.
Out of my space.
Tell him to go back out of the circle. Yep. I wouldn't have hit him.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're trying to calm him down. Not upset him more. Yep. Okay, so we're going to just try to wiggle him down the same way, towards the shoulder. See if he breaks into the trot. If he does, you're just going to raise him. Yes, perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. Now you're going to do that when you ask for the walk. So gently ask and then say, yes, I'd like you to keep walking more. There, yep, perfect. It's okay if he picks up the trot.
My energy is so too loud.
It's all right, it's all right.
He's responding appropriately.
He is, and you're doing it in the right time, so that's good. And you're doing it pretty much with the right energy, yes. So you saw where your mistake was, yes. Good, now, yep, it's okay. Good, leave him alone. Now, go ahead and bring back energy towards the shoulder again, see if you can't get the walk. Tell him I need you to walk now. Yep, there, leave him alone.
Good boy.
Now go ahead and yield his tail. And we're going to yield his tail after he passes me because he wants to look that way, so we're just going to help him kind of take that in. So go ahead and yield his tail. Okay, that's okay. No, I'm going to be able to have him so when he stops, he can look this way. That's okay though. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Just so that way he can stay, because this way I can talk to you and he'll stay this way as opposed to. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so we're going to go the other way. We're going to do trot, walk, transition the other direction.
You're so good. You're so good. You're such a good doer. That's cool. That's true. That's good. Stop. Focus. No, I didn't say that. That wasn't my direction.
Yeah, and then just make it back up. That's where you last left off. Good. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Just watch that rope doesn't hit the ground. That's all. Good. Raise your hand, ask him for the trot. Pulling him around, which is going to cause him to come to you. Good. Leave him alone. Wiggle him down to the walk.
Excuse me?
Wiggle him down to the walk. Good. Tell him I want you to keep walking. Gentle. Good. But, Chase, so go ahead and tell him to go back out. Good, leave him alone. Good. Good boy. So now, bump his nose towards your belly button and look at his tail and see if you can't get him to yield out there. Back him up out of your space. Good. He needs to learn that he's supposed to stop out on the circle. Good. See what time it is. I do. No, I mean, I think. We have 20 more minutes. I don't know if you wanted to keep working on that, if you wanted to get your saddle and see if you wanted to get on. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. I'm good for being here for a minute, but if you guys are coming in, yeah, you can come in. He's pretty. He's pretty. Yeah, she's lucky you didn't kick. Yeah, right? You think he was done all right? Has he done?
He's still getting familiar with the people around his body.
Okay.
So whatever
Yeah.
type of training they did to break him, it was probably that rough out west type
Right.
cowboy training.
Right.
Anything you do, he reacts quickly. So I think she started.
I'm sure. And she reached up and touched him. So, yeah.
And he didn't know she was there.
Right.
So he was focused on me. So he's used to, oh, I gotta move, I gotta go do something.
He's very starry-eyed. He blinks only a little tiny bit. He doesn't fully blink his eyes.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, yeah. That will change. There's a nice blink there. Is he? Good. Hey. That woman's horse. And he looks like he's probably going to stay gray for a little bit, like that dappley gray for a little bit longer. How old? He's 6? Yeah, you might get lucky that he won't turn.
I hope he does.
Yeah, I have a flea bitten gray. I never thought I'd own a flea bitten gray. I hate that stage. And I don't really care for the white stage either, but he's a little chestnutty too.
Yeah, he's got some red hair.
It's funny, I don't like chestnuts. I own 3 chestnuts. I don't like flea bitten grays. I own a flea bitten